And we welcome you into Dodgers Daily, where this afternoon we have a very, very, very special guest, as you see on your screen. Jeff Belge, a left-handed pitcher in the Dodgers organization, joins Dodgers Daily. So, Jeff, thank you so much for joining.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, very good. Hey, we're going to have a lighthearted moment here as we get this thing started. But you grew up in Syracuse, New York, grew up a
Absolutely.
Mets fan. And, if the Mets had beaten the Padres, that would have been the Dodgers' opponent. So, they say blood is thicker than water. So how would that have went for you?
So my dad actually is a huge Met fan. So I've been watching them growing up my whole life. But obviously, I think if it came down, I'd be rooting for the Dodgers. If things were reversed and I wasn't playing with the Dodgers, obviously I'd be rooting for the Mets. But so right now I'd be rooting for the Dodgers. But I know my dad would have a hard choice. I think he'd be rooting for the Mets though. It'd be a nice little household rivalry.
Okay, Henninger High School, Syracuse, New York. You had a great career there. Second question I wanted to ask you, of course, you were a quarterback on your football team. We'll get to all the baseball stuff here in a minute. You played basketball too. I got to ask you about your basketball skills, man. Tell me about your basketball game.
Yes, I played for Henninger High School, obviously, and we had a pretty solid squad. I was a power forward center kind of thing. Usually played down the post. I couldn't shoot too well. But yeah, I played down the post, got physical. But yeah, I played basketball up until my junior year and then just played baseball after that. But yeah, it was an awesome time. I had a great coach. His name's Eric Cerrone. He was coaching at a community college around here, Onondaga Community College. He did really well there after coaching at Henninger. But yeah, he's a great guy. So I had a great coach to play for, and yeah, so it was awesome. It was an awesome time. Loved the sport. Yeah, it was good to stay competitive and stuff throughout the off season and have something else to do to keep me in shape and competitive.
Yeah, you have an amazing story as far as dealing with adversity, overcoming odds. When you're younger, you're skipping rocks as a kid and hurt your right eye. And then in high school, you're just kind of roughhousing during a baseball tournament, I think, in the hotel room, and then hurt the eye again. Actually, legally blind. I think you can see some shapes and colors in your right eye, but you've had to overcome that in your career, haven't you?
Yeah. So that was obviously a big setback in my life that I've had. But I think that happened to me at a young age kind of helped me in a way, in terms of being able to just like overcome adversity and just knowing that there's always things always get better on the other side. And just learning how to fight through that and come back stronger on the other side was, I think, big for my career, just having that from a young age.
You had a big career, a big senior year there at Henninger High, 67 strikeouts, and it was so good that you actually got drafted in the 32nd round 2016 draft by Boston, which is fairly close by. So kind of take us through that decision as far as why you decided to go to St. John's, and we'll talk about your St. John's career here in a minute, but why you turned that down and went to college instead.
Yeah, so I committed to St. John's when I was just a sophomore and going into my sophomore year of high school. I had a really good relationship with the pitching coach there, Corey Muscara. So that was a big part of my decision of going to play there instead of going to pro ball right away. I knew that just being able to play under him and Coach Blankmeyer there would be huge. Just learning the game and developing as a player and as a person on and off the field. I think that was the biggest part for me. But yeah, so when it came down to draft time, I had a number set in my head for like signing bonus stuff and what I valued St. John's as, and I didn't get to that number with the team with the Red Sox, so I decided to honor my commitment to St. John's. And I had a great 3 years there. It was awesome. Made a lot of good friends, baseball wise and off the field too. It was a really good time.
You mentioned Coach Muscara, Corey Muscara, and then Ed Blankmeyer is the all-time winningest coach in St. John's baseball history. So, do you mind talking about those two for a minute?
Yeah, they're awesome. So I only got to play with Coach Muscara for 1 year. He went to Maryland after my freshman year, but he taught me a lot, and he was really good with like the mental side of stuff too, and just like the mental side of baseball and just like how to kind of like simplify the game and like stay within yourself and not let the moment get too big and stuff like that. So I think learning a lot of the mental side from him kind of took a lot of that with me throughout my career, and still use a lot of the stuff that he taught me to this day. And Coach Blankmeyer, he's one of the best, obviously. Just winning ball game. He just knows how to win. He's a winner. One of the best to learn from on and off the field. Just does things the right way. Yeah, he's one of the best people I've ever come across, both of those guys.
Well, what a career you had there at St. John's, and you had 199 strikeouts. That's 10th all time in the history of all pitchers that have gone to St. John's. And for those that don't know, St. John's is one of the best pitching factories in terms of a college baseball program of all time. And they have just produced one pitcher after the other. So to be 10th all time in strikeouts at 199, that's pretty prestigious. And so you went from the 32nd round all the way to the 18th round after 3 years of college. So obviously you made a great decision there. The rumor has it that you were playing Fortnite whenever your name got called. Is that right?
Yeah. So me and my buddies during college would play a lot. Actually, we got real big into Fortnite and stuff. So yeah. So I was watching the draft. I was getting real nervous, and just to take my mind off of it, I just texted a couple of my buddies like, "Hey, you guys want to play some Fortnite?" So we hopped on, whatever. And then probably like 3 or 4 games in, my phone started blowing up. And then I had a headset on. I heard through my headset, my mom was like going crazy downstairs. And so yeah, I took it out, went downstairs, like, what's going on? She was like, you just got drafted. And I looked at my phone, and a bunch of messages like, congrats. And so yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. Obviously, when I saw that it was the Dodgers too, I was excited. Just knowing that they have such a great player development program, and all the people that they have, the staff there have been some of the best people I've ever worked with. So that's been awesome.
I know you're very close with your entire family. Your dad has been very, very involved in your career all the way through. So, take this moment and thank all the people that have helped you get to where you're at. I know you've overcome, like we've mentioned, the adversity you've had to overcome. So there's a lot of people to thank.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't even begin to, I have a great support system here with my family, and just people around my city too, Syracuse, just always rooting for me. And so I can't appreciate those guys enough and thank them enough. My family, obviously, just from day one, just bring me to travel ball. Just obviously when all the injury stuff happened too, just making sure everything was taken care of. And from the top down, I just had so many good people behind me to help me get to where I am today. So I just can't thank them all enough. My family, my mom, dad, my sisters, they're awesome. Obviously, always there to support and help when I need it. And, wouldn't be possible to do what I am today without them.
So 2019 18th round, you accept, you sign with the Dodgers, you get your career started, your professional career, and you begin in Ogden. Is that correct? You're on that group with Austin Chubb managing and that whole group. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I had about 2 outings in AZL, and then moved me out to Ogden. I got to play with Chubb, and so I've been playing with him for a few years now, and it's been awesome. He's one of the greatest guys I've ever been around. He's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of those guys on the Drillers team this year played on that 19 team. I'm friends with the guy from my hometown, Stillwater, Oklahoma, John Littell, that played on that team. So I'm very familiar with that 19 team. Yeah. Yeah,
that team was awesome. But yeah, so that was a great introduction to pro ball, just getting around a great group of guys, having a manager like Chubb, and then just a bunch of good players and learning from them. And so that kind of made the transition from college to pro ball really easy.
Well, you had a really good stretch there at the end of 2019. Your ERA was under 2, and you were pitching really well, and you carried a lot of momentum into 2020, which would have been your first full professional season, in professional baseball. And then 2020 gets canceled, obviously, due to COVID. So was that frustrating for you, knowing that you had so much momentum coming out of 2019 after you got drafted? Yeah, very. It was definitely a blow. We were at spring training for a couple of weeks, and they informed us that we're all getting sent back. That was a blow. I was really looking forward to that year. But I think I took it as a way to kind of just get better and try to improve on things that I need to do on and off the field, and then bring that into 21. But it was frustrating, I think, for everybody, just being sent home, kind of not knowing what was going on, and just basically missing a whole year of their baseball life. Kind of sucked. Yeah, and you being from Syracuse, New York, which is upstate New York, and it being cold weather, did you feel like that was even more of a disadvantage for you because of the type of climate you're in? Yeah, it was tough. I make the most of it, though. I have a pretty good facility here. It's called
or was formerly called the CNY Baseball Warehouse. Now it's called Premier Sports Warehouse, I think. Ben Gall is a guy I work out with there, and they have a great facility. So I was able to get in some throwing indoors and stuff where I could like simulate like long toss and stuff into a cage, and bullpen mounds indoor and stuff too. So that was nice. Good weight room facility too. So I was able to get my work in and stuff. For the first little bit though, I actually had to buy some stuff to put in my garage, like a squat rack and kind of like some home workout equipment stuff, and throw that in my garage for the first couple of months before things kind of settled down. And I was able to get back into the facility. But yeah, for a while there, it got kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy for everybody. Nobody had ever been through that. So let's fast forward to this season, 2022. You don't get assigned to Great Lakes until June. First of all, tell us what you're doing and up until that point. And then obviously once you got to the Loons, you got reunited with Austin Chubb, who was your manager in 2019. For Ogden, he was the manager this year at Great Lakes. Man, you just really hit the ground running. You had a tremendous start to 2022, a tremendous year overall, but certainly the start there. So take us through what you were doing up until that point, and then the great season you had here in 2022.
All right. So actually I was, I had gone through some mental health stuff that I was struggling with. So I had to kind of clear that stuff up and get that taken care of. So yeah, basically when it came down to time to go to spring training, I just mentally just wasn't really doing well. So I kind of just took the time and figured that out and kind of got some help that I needed to do. And so I think that and just taking care of that was a really big part of my success going into this year, and just gaining some confidence back. And it was really probably one of the better moves I made, honestly. Is it sucked to miss a little bit of the season, but to kind of take care of what I need to take care of. And it kind of helped me play this year with like a clear head and a lot of confidence.
I'm not on the inside of it, but I do kind of see how people reacted to certain different things. But it sure looked like that your teammates were your brotherhood this year, weren't they?
Oh man, yeah, they're awesome. I can't begin to describe how awesome the people in this organization are, from top to bottom. Just helping with, even before I got there, just helping with everything I needed before I got out to Arizona this year. And they've been awesome. And then once I got back, it was seamless. And it was just like coming back into, like I've been there the whole time. It was awesome. So yeah, they made it really, really easy to come back and accepted me with open arms. And yeah, it was awesome.
You got off to the really great start, and obviously 2022 overall was really, really good for you. And, as the season went on, I followed this very closely. Man, it just seemed like you loosened up more and more and more as it went, to the point to where your fastball was in the mid to high 80s towards the 90s, towards the end of it. And you had the good slider working. So did you feel like you had your confidence from the start, or did you feel like that kind of built throughout the 2022 season?
I feel it kind of built up. Like from the go, it was kind of like my first outing. I was real nervous actually, just getting back out there, and but it ended up going well. It's just like after the first batter, usually the jitters kind of go away for me. But yeah, I think just like even feeling those jitters again, though, I think it's a good thing. Just feeling a little nervous, and I think it kind of fuels you to kind of go out there and give it your all. For me, at least. Yeah, I think as the season went on, I kind of realized like. Just kind of I was trusting what I was doing off the field and on the field, and like just the work I was doing in between outings, and just having the trust in what I was doing and the guys that I was working with. I think that was the biggest part of kind of like building that confidence throughout the year.
One thing I've noticed about you is in the big moments, you love the adrenaline of being in the exciting moments, the biggest moments. They really help you focus, don't they? Yeah,
they do. I think those moments are awesome. I think coming out of the bullpen, getting a big stop, and it just kind of helps sway the momentum of the whole game. That's why I think, I don't know, it's just that whole adrenaline rush you get going in. It's just undescribable feeling. So I think to me, that's one of the best feelings in sports. Just getting in that big spot and coming in and getting a stop.
Let's talk about your stuff, the big fastball. We talked about it a minute ago, how the velo just kept increasing as the season went on, the slider. So tell us where you're at with your stuff right now. I know it's the off season, but actually let's take it back and tell us where your stuff was at whenever you ended this year.
Yeah, so I have a fastball, a slider, the two main pitches, and then kind of got a curveball that I throw in there here and there. But the bread and butter is the fastball, slider. I use my fastball probably the most. by far. Kind of got a good ride to it. Some cut action to it. I think when I'm established in the zone, like middle to upper part of the zone, I can get that in the zone for strikes. I think I'm going to give hitters a tough time with that, because usually I'm getting that up there, a lot of swing and miss at the top, and then the slider kind of plays off of it. Trying to figure out the slider shape a little bit right now, or towards the end of the season, was trying to just get that slider shape more consistent. Sometimes it gets a little too big and slurvy.
Yeah.
But I'm throwing it the harder, tight one. I think that's the pitch I'm trying to aim for right now, that slider.
Yep. So, okay, off season right now. So take us through. I know you went back home spending time with the family. That'd be correct. Yes.
Yeah. Right now, I'm spending some time with the family, and I just started working out this week.
Yep. So take us through what your off season is going to look like this year.
Yeah. So just right now, trying to just get some corrective stuff in, like some mobility back from the season. Start building some strength back. So this first phase I'm going through right now for lifting is just going to be strength phase. Throwing wise is starting like a little on-ramp kind of thing, just some plyo ball stuff, light throwing. And then as it goes on, start to get to some more like mobility work and kind of blend in strength and mobility. And then throwing, obviously on-ramp to throwing more, start long tossing. I think it's going to be a good offseason. Basically just trying to stay where I am in terms of like command with my pitches, and then add some more velo. And that's the main goals this year. Expectations for 2023. Just wherever I go, I just pitch my heart out. Just want to go and give my team a chance to win. I think if I handle what I need to handle in the off season, I think that it'll take care of itself. I'm looking forward to it a lot and seeing what can go on in 2023.
I love to finish my interviews with guys like you in your position to give a message to the young kids so they can keep working to try to be like you someday and reach their goals in the game of baseball. You have a great message to give. Obviously, you came over the major adversity of losing basically all of your eyesight in one eye. So for all the kids out there that want to become Jeff Belge and get in the position you are someday, what is your message for them?
I'd say just always work hard, put your head down, and just always go forward. And just keep going. Whenever things get tough, just keep going. It always gets better. Just always gets better.
Awesome job. Jeff Belge, I appreciate you joining Dodgers Daily so much.
Yes, sir.
You have a big fan here. I thoroughly enjoyed following you all year long. It was awesome to watch. So congratulations on a great 2022. Best of luck as we move forward, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.